What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Martha is Dead controversy surrounding PlayStation. So this was something that, obviously, I think it came out more or less around the weekend, or maybe even late last week, and I've had conflicting thoughts. In fact, I would even say I made a mistake online. Even from what I've said, because my thoughts on it have kind of shifted over the past couple days. Here's the deal. Here's where I ultimately stand. I don't believe in censorship. I don't believe this game should be censored. Is it a sensitive topic? Yes. Is it a sensitive topic because it's on PlayStation? Yes. Okay, so you have a couple different things going on, right? Of course, well, it's going to be very hard for people to say that I'm a Sony fanboy, which for some reason that's like a thing out there. Even though I've criticized PlayStation, it almost seems like more than I've praised them. That's not true though. No. So what we have here is this game Martha is Dead, right? And it's actually going to have to be the physical edition of the game is being delayed while the digital editions of it are still going out, and the game is only being censored on PlayStation. Now to me, that makes it very bad. Very, very bad, right? Because you can say all you want, and I'm not saying, your opinion is wrong. It's your opinion. You have every right to it, right? It is a sensitive topic. So basically what is being censored is a person's face. I believe it's Martha herself. I don't know for sure, but a girl's face is skinned off, and I believe you wear it. Now, is that gross? Yeah. Is that really something that I care to play in my games? No. If it's in a game like Outlast is not the greatest in terms of it's so PG. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Outlast and Outlast 2 very much push the boundaries, and I love those games. Those games are phenomenal. Those games are scary. I can't even believe I actually beat those games, right? Does skinning somebody's face and wearing it sound like something I want to necessarily do? No, definitely not in real life, but obviously not in the fake world either. But it's something that should, if they want to have it, they want to have it, and it should be in the game. The thing that I really think makes it the worst is it's only PlayStation that's censoring it. In fact, the official statement from them is Xbox, PC, none of them are being impacted. Here's the deal. Here's what it ultimately gets boiled down to, and I generally believe in this stuff, right? I don't like being told what I can and cannot handle. Maybe that sounds weird, right? But that's basically what censorship in this form, at the very least. That's what this is. That this is too dangerous. This is too pushing of a boundary, or what? It's too much. So we as a corporation will tell you what is okay and what is not okay. So we will protect you. That's ultimately, if you want to look at it from a positive, or you want to understand why Sony is doing it, and you're trying to want to back them, which I don't support that, but if you want to do that, fine. That's completely cool. That is how you'd probably go. You know what I mean? Like, they're protecting you from this. Again, skinning somebody's face off isn't exactly it's not a hobby. Like puzzles are a hobby, and board games and video games and movies. Skinning somebody's face, not exactly. I mean, it could be, but it's just not. So, I would understand. I get why people, I guess, would support it, but I really don't think it's a good idea to bow down to corporations and to expect them, or even demand. I don't know if anybody was demanding this, but to demand or want them to censor things from us. We need, as people, and this goes for words that are unsettling, opinions that are unsettling. We need to be able to handle it as a society. And this is getting political, maybe too political for some people, and trust me, I get it. But really, that's what it is. Obviously, this is something a little bit different because you're pressing buttons and you're watching characters on screen. So it's like it's a visual censorship, just like how maybe like a movie or whatever, right? But I really would compare it to just it's censorship in general. Again, it's the idea that we can't handle something, so we need others to protect us from it by blocking it out. And I guess, again, the thing that doesn't make Sony look like the good guys here, number one, again, they're the only ones that are doing it. So for some reason, Microsoft. And that's originally, I even kind of fell in that hole where it's like, well, the idea of what you're doing in this game, that is kind of crazy. But Microsoft has no problem with it. And I think that really hurts the argument of protecting Sony. Why doesn't Microsoft have any issue with it? You know what I mean? Why doesn't, any distributor of it? So I guess, Steam or whatever it would be on, right? Why don't they have an issue with it? And maybe they do. but I actually would respect them if they do and they still allow it. That's what we want. We want people in terms of words, journalism, politics, and you want people that, well, if you don't agree, that's fine. You don't have to agree. You don't have to play Martha's that I don't care about the game. I'm never going to play it. That's just how it is. But I support its existence. I support the fact that it can happen. And I support the people that want to play it. That's ultimately what it should be. So, I know a lot of people are dunking on. I actually saw the video before. There's a video to give context. There's a video online on YouTube of this guy supporting the censorship. But a couple of things that's funny. Well, number one, again, I saw that video actually before it was made a thing on Twitter. There's Twitter posts that are talking about it that are getting tens of thousands, like a lot of likes and retweets. Like, there's a lot of support against that video. The second thing, though, is what's funny, that is a little stupid, if I am going to be critical on this person, is they're so against the thing, the face that you're doing stuff to in the game, right? They're so against it, so against censorship. Do you want to know what the thumbnail of the video is? It's that. So they're so against they're so pro censorship. They're so pro Sony protecting us that they throw it in their own thumbnail. So see where the issue lies. See the hypocrisy there. You have to be consistent. Again, if you feel that censorship is fine and it's okay, whatever, that's fine. I mean, we have difference of opinions. Who cares, right? Don't let me change your mind. That's fine. But you have to stay consistent. And oftentimes, number one, I'm not saying he's a fanboy, this YouTube channel or whatever, but there are fanboys out there that'll flip-flop, right? One thing that is good for Sony, if Microsoft does it, then they flip. Same thing with acquisitions, right? I've always tried to be insanely, even though it's not the most popular opinion, right? Being like, I don't like Sony buying this. I don't like Microsoft buying that. It does get controversial at a point, but I'm trying to stay consistent, because if you don't like it when one does it, you better not like it when you know what I mean? That's just a rule. It's just stay consistent with yourself. Be a consistent individual. I know opinions can shift, but you'd be picking favorites. That's ultimately you're picking a favorite. And so just, I guess, say it if you're going to be that way. If you're going to be a console warrior, declare yourself as one. You know what I mean? So, it is unsettling. I don't want to brush by that. I think a lot of other channels that would maybe talk about it, or even people, making fun of people pro censorship, right? They would kind of brush it off. I understand how people would get there. I do, because I don't think it's a very nice thing that's happening on screen. I do feel like that would give me kind of chills to do. And I actually did watch it. I watched that scene play out. And I mean, yeah, it's not, but you do a lot of bad stuff in other games. And again, Sony censors all the time. A lot of Japanese stuff, right? They censor it a lot. But what's also very uncomfortable to watch? That one, and I won't specifically say it or even show it or anything. The one scene in The Last of Us Part 2 with Abby and another unnamed individual, right? That was a little oh my dear God, I can't believe this is in a video game, right? To me, that was kind of unsettling. Should it be in the game? Is it what they want? Yes, fine, then put it in the game. Do I have to like it? This is another distinction. Do you have to like it? No, you don't have to like it. You can use it against it. If you're reviewing the game, you could say, I didn't like that scene. I thought it was stupid. I didn't think it should have been in the game. You can say that. Who cares? It's fine. But but to say it's not allowed. You're not allowed to do it. We need to censor. We need to blur the screen or whatever. If that's not what they want, if they want it in, again, though, you have to be consistent. Why are we letting that scene in The Last of Us go, but then we're going to censor this? It really, yes, they're two different things. One's a little more sexual, one, you know what I mean? But it's not, but it is two separate stuff, but it's still the idea of censorship, right? You just allow it. If they want it in the game, now, there's obviously rules and stuff like that, but hey, again, defenses like that break down very quickly, because you can't say, well, maybe they're breaking a rule with the ESRB. Well, why is Microsoft not doing it? Why, so what I mean? So it's a Sony specific thing. There's really no way to slither your way around that. If you're trying to just defend Sony, again, fine, whatever, but you can't really get around it, because it's not well, they're doing something for the greater good. Well, maybe that's the only thing you can say. They're a more, you know what I mean? They care about people more than Microsoft or PC, but really, to me, controversial opinion, people that censor, they don't care about you. They're not trying to protect you. None of that stuff is actually true. It's not for a noble cause. They want their stuff and they want nothing else. And yes, that's like the massive exaggeratory, reach of it, but that's ultimately what it becomes. I mean, they pick and choose. Well, this is okay, but this isn't okay. We're going to protect you from this. But also, again, it goes to the more human thing where it's like, why? We do need protection from some things in a society, but we don't need protection from this. You just don't need to buy the game. You don't have to play the game. Nobody's forcing it on you. Nobody's forcing you to play Last of Us Part 2. Nobody's forcing you to read articles. Nobody's forcing you to listen to a podcast, right? We hear about censorship with podcasts and YouTube channels, all that stuff. Who's forcing any of this on you except for yourself, right? That's it. So there's no need to censor because ultimately just like common wisdom or just like your free thinking, that's going to prevail. If you don't like it, that's fine. If you play Martha is Dead and you hate that scene, that's in your right and that's totally acceptable. You know what I mean? But it can exist. So that's my thoughts on it. It is maybe controversial. I don't think it is. I feel like it's just like a couple people and then people that just want to defend Sony. But even them, I mean, I don't know how you defend it. I really don't. I think there's a lot of stuff stacked up against PlayStation, and again, it's in their history to do this stuff. They gotta knock it off. They have to. I don't know if it's because of the culture there, maybe because of like the Japanese influences, but again, they actually censor a lot of non-Western things. That's like their MO, is they, what I mean? So it's weird how it's all kind of played out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. All my social media, if you want to yell at me anywhere else besides here, is in the description below, along with our Patreon and YouTube memberships if you guys want to check those out. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.